So good morning, everyone. I know it's getting cold again, and in March, right? Okay, so the weather will be still up and down, right? Okay, not until I think May, right? But so take care of yourself, and I hope that this is the last snow that we can appreciate this year. So we are going to start our meditation soon because it's 1 minute left. So that's it. Okay. So for those who have just checked in, or if you are new in this meditation, so we are going to start with the walking first, then sitting, and then we are going to have a Dharma talk. Right? So this is what we are going to do in this meditation. So walking, actually throughout this meditation, we have to be mindful. So whether you would like to be mindful on your breathing, or when you're walking, you can be mindful on your steps, or you can when you're sitting, you can do the counting, breath counting, or be mindful on your breath. That is all all skills of meditation. Okay, so here we are going to start with the walking. Um, so we are going to have the signals. So uh, this is the first, the first signals. That means the end of everything, like seating meditation, or walking meditation. And if you see here two sounds of the wooden fish, so that means the beginning of the walking meditation. And then there will be a slower, uh, like a slower beat of the wooden fish for 3 times. Okay. It will be slower. Okay, so this is just a demo. Okay, so this is the beginning of the sitting meditation. So these are quite simple signals. We have more complicated ones in our formal setup, but this is just, kind of like a simple setup. Okay, so we are starting the walking meditation. So walk normally, whether you would like to do the slow or normal pace walking, walk around your rooms, but be mindful on the breathing. Okay, so, or the steps that you're taking. Okay, so that is the very practice of the walking meditation. So let us start. So walk mindfully. Okay, so you may stay where you are and be mindful on your breathing. Okay, so let us go to our chair or cushions. Oh, no, 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 I forgot to take bows and showing our respect to our dear, respectful Buddha. Okay, so let us, I can't wait to, get on the cushion to meditate. Okay, so we forgot this. Okay, we forgot him. No, I forgot him. Okay, so let us showing our respect to our dear Buddha, okay, by taking 3 full bows. So half bow first. Okay, so let us sit down. Get comfortable, relaxed, stable, balanced sitting posture. Okay. It's allergy season. Okay, so it's like seems that I'm a little bit left on the screen. It's at the center, but it is what it is. So that's fine. Okay, so please bear with me if you have a compulsive of moving me, a compulsion of moving me at the center. So please bear with me. Okay, so just slow down that of your compulsiveness. Okay, so sit straight through your spine, chin pressed down a little bit, eyes closed, or you may keep your eyes half opened. Take 3 deep breaths, fresh air in, and breathe out all of your stress. After taking 3 deep breaths, and let us relax ourselves from head to toe. Now relax your scalp, your forehead, and your eyebrows. Relax your eyes and nose. Relax your cheeks and lips. Relax your ears and down to your neck and shoulders. Relax your arms and down to your fingertips. Relax your chest and abdomen. Relax your back and your lower back. Relax your legs and all the way down to your toes. So now we have relaxed ourselves. And we're going to do it one more time. And this time we're going to do it from outside in. So relax your hairs and skin. Relax your muscles, your nerves, and your blood vessels. Relax your bones and joints. Relax your inner organs and relax your brain. So now we have relaxed ourselves from head to toe, outside in. So this is the best time for us to do the meditative concentration. So what we are doing now is called mindful breathing. So just be mindful on your breath. So each breath that you take in and out, you should be mindful. When breathing in, be mindful on how deep the air can reach you. When breathe out, check on how long or how short your breath is. So there is another technique called breath counting. That is for those who you think that your mind keeps wandering while sitting. So just take your breathing in and out as a cycle. You can count your cycle. So for example, this breathing cycle, you count 1, the next you count 2, and up to 5. Or you can challenge yourself to count up to 10. So there's only one rules for breath counting. So if you lost your number or you're counting but you're still having kind of like thoughts and you got distracted of your counting, then you have to all start all over again from 1. So that is the only rule. So let us try to practice these. And if you are distracted, don't be discouraged. It is part of the training. So you may start all over by taking 3 deep breaths first, then do your practice again. Okay, so let us be mindful. So you may open your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Fresh air in. Breathe out all of your stress. Okay, after taking 3 deep breaths, then we can do the transitional warm down exercise by swaying the body, moving forward or bending forward and backward. Turn. Like you are drawing a big circle with your body. Okay, rub your hands and cover your eyes, your hands. And then rub your face with your hands, gently rub it. And pull your ears or massage your ears. And comb your head. Then massage your neck. Rub your hands again. And put your palms against your lower back and rub it. You may release your legs and massage your legs. Okay. So I'm going to pull myself a little bit closer to the mic. Okay, so yes, bear with me. Okay. Okay, so for today's Dharma talk, we are not going to talk about the patriarch, six, the platform sutra of the sixth patriarch. Okay? We are going to take a break on that. So, kind of like we might get, dizzy with some of the thoughts about non-dualities, right? So, but these non-dualities actually relates to some teachings of the Buddha, and there are some logic of making this conclusion of non-dualities, so as something that we call emptiness or no thought. Okay, and some of the like sunyata, or this sunyata actually means emptiness, and also like Anatman, that means non-self. Okay, so I would like to share with you what I have been this week, during this week. Right? So wow, my English is getting better now. Okay, yeah, because I have I have been learning English by going to ESL class. So that is because I found out that my English is kind of like cannot master my English anymore because lack of any stimulant. It means that I don't talk English and speak English, use English in my daily life. So that is kind of like if you you don't use it, you forget it, right? Okay, so I had English class right now, and last this week, from Sunday evening till yesterday evening. I was in a class or a seminar. It's called Sunyata Sunyata in Prajna Paramita Sutta, okay, or Sutra. That's Sanskrit. Right? So Prajna Paramita Sutra is a very huge volume of Buddhist text talking about what sunyata is, or what prajna paramita is. Right? So prajna paramita means actually means the wisdom that enable us to cross over and reach the shore of liberation. Okay, so it was so long, right? Okay, so prajna means wisdom. Paramita means to reach the other shore. So that is the wisdom for us to cross over the sea of the suffering and reach the other shore of liberation, which we call liberation, right? So and what does that talk? What does it talks, right? What does Prajna Paramita Sutra talks about? Actually, it has a lot of stuff. Okay, uh, most of them are really, really abstract. Okay, and that is because it is all about wisdom, right? So an insight that you are able for you yourself to reach to the other shore, right? So I would like to get it straight, or kind of like make it simple, and share it with my audience about what this sutra. Okay, so actually this sutra has a great volume, a huge volume of it. And of course, if we are talking about this kind of sutra, actually, we can count Heart Sutra and Diamond Sutra as a part of Prajna Paramita Sutra. Okay, so it is a kind of like a collections of you know of the Buddha's teachings, talking about the wisdoms that enable us to get to the other shore. Right? So what's inside, right? Or what does this wisdom, right, get us to realize something, right? Okay, so because this is the wisdom or the insight. Right? So that comes to a very important teachings about including sunyata, that's emptiness. That's something that we call, or that we translated in English, and Anatman, non-self, also suchness, Suchness means, I forgot the Sanskrit term. This maybe Tathagata or something, because that is also a title of the Buddha. I think that there's some variation of that. Okay, and it becomes a personification of that term. Okay, so okay, and then so Tathagata. Okay, and also no thought. Okay, so these four things are very very hard to to understand, and sometimes it might get mistaken, and someone or most of the people will get frightened out. Okay, so there was an experience for me of talking about non-self to a person who was about to, kind of like taking refuge, and he got freaked out. Okay, so but I don't blame him, because this is a really hard to understand concept. Right. And in order for us to understand the concept, we have to go step by steps, okay, to reach, or to get ourselves prepared to realize that. Okay, so but those concepts can be observed, or can be contemplated, or can be um, realized, right, by our perceptions. Okay, so there is something that I really would like to share with my audience, that uh, when we're talking about Buddhist practice, most of them are very empirical. Empirical means that it is based on practical, or based on our sense. Right? So that is something that we can sense it, but without realizing it. Okay, so here is something that we have to know. Okay, so impermanence, no, sorry, emptiness, sunyata, actually is based on the observation of emptiness. Right? So that is the one. Right? So sunyata is all. I think that is more like uh, a term that describes the phenomena. Okay, the things that we see, especially, right? Of course, our body is also a kind of phenomena. Yeah, we are, such a phenomena, right? Okay, so how great. Okay, so and uh, and also our thoughts can be a phenomena, right? Okay, so that is, we call it dharma. Okay, with a small letter d. Okay, so that means all things that we can perceive. Okay, so your thought, you can perceive your thought, right? Okay, so that is the sunyata. So the essence of sunyata is impermanence. Okay, so by observing impermanence, and by realizing that every dharma, or small letter d, the phenomena, right, that we get a concept, or we get a clue of what the world is, right? So that is called sunyata. Okay. And Anatman, in the other hand, is more like a something. It talks about something about us. Okay, about human beings. Okay, about a person or an object that can perceive. Okay, so and it is also based in the concept, or based on the teachings of impermanence, because this is the unchangeable rules in the world, right? Okay, so impermanence, how can you observe to impermanence to get a conclusion of Anatman, right? So I believe that this one is we have to do it by using meditation, number one, and number two is by observing. Right? We call it contemplation on our perception. Right? So because it talks about ourselves, right? The inner me, right? Self, right? Non-self. Okay, where is non-self within a self? Right? Okay. So this Anatman, this actually tells us, okay, about an illusory concept of us, right? Um, so this goes like this, right? So the Anatman, why there is an Anatman? It is because we think, or the Buddha taught us that a, a, a concept of self is just illusory, illusion. It is just an illusion. Okay, illusory, right? Okay, so why? So don't get panic, okay? Just let me finish it. then, then you know why, okay? And that can be done and can be realized by when you are doing the meditation. So this is something that we have to work on it when we are meditating. Right? So this is something that Buddhists have to work on it during meditation. Okay, so this is very different from like the meditation of other like yoga meditation, right? You say Om, like that. Okay, or like this. This is also the yoga ones. Okay, so or there are different meditation from different schools other than Buddhist schools, right? Okay, so what Buddhists do during meditation is actually observing our perception or our thoughts. Right. So I have read during this seminar I have read an article that inspires me a lot, and because it talks about Anatman and it talks about a meditational skills on how to contemplate, and you get to conclude that there is that your thinking of yourself is somewhat illusory. Okay, so that's a very, very interesting things, right? And it talks about a modern, it used a modern concept to talk about it. So it's not, it matches the Buddha's teachings. Okay, so Anatman, right, it talks about illusory. So how can we get an illusory self? Right? It is because the thoughts and our perceiving of the thoughts. So that means that something that we perceive, right, and we process, okay, and then during that process, then we got mistaken that there is a self. Okay, so okay, so that takes a meditation an important role, or that make meditation an important role, because we can do this practice during meditation, and that lead us to realize our so-called self is really just an illusion. Okay, so we know that what is illusion, right? Okay, so that means that never existed, right? Okay, so like a mirage, right? Or like the dream, right? And when you woke up from the dream, if it is a nightmare, you're glad that it never happened, right? And if you wake up from a sweet dream, no, okay. So yeah, it's just not happened. right? It's not there. Right? So, so that is called illusion. Or sometimes when some of the feeling are also, we can say that is kind of like illusion. So, taking an example of myself, I had a car accident, a very very severe car accident, in 2016, and I think that Jeff has these, um, these these things too, because he told me that he started to meditate because he had an accident and he can't get out of the trauma of the accident, so he started in meditating. So I hope he is all right now. All right, so when I heard about what he shared with me, then I was kind of like completely understanding, because I had the same feeling. Okay, so I had a car accident in year 2016, and that was so bad because the airbag pops up, and we got hit by a car. We were driving a car, right? We were hit by a pickup truck, you know, in highway. Okay, then as I remember, when we got hit, our car was kind of like losing his control, right? His control, and we hit on the concrete of the, of the, the barricade, or something. I forgot the concrete that separate the lanes, right? Of two directions, right? Okay, so it happens in I-70. Okay, from when we are heading back to St. Louis from Kansas. Okay, so what, as I remember, we got, at the time we got hit, our car lost control and hit, because we are at the center lane, right? There are three lanes, right? So this is the one we are going to exit, right? Then that is the center. This is the road that is to the different directions, right? The opposite directions, right? So we are on the middle lane. And then when we got hit, we were kind of like lost control, and we hit at the concrete barrier. I think that I don't know how to call it. Right. Then we lost control, and I forgot what happened. It was kind of like, maybe we turned. I don't know, but we were just kind of like. But when we finally stopped, right, and when we without any harms, right, so our airbags pops up, and I'm glad that I had a seat belt on me. That is how important you got buckled up, right? Okay, and when I get out from my wrecked car, okay, then I realized that the head of my car, was heading toward the exit of the freeway. Okay, so I think that my car really turns, but I don't know how. But it is not tumble around, but it is kind of like woo woo woo, right? Okay, all right. So, but it came on really in a very very fast speed, so we really can't remember what happened after we get hit at the concrete barrier. Okay, so maybe kind of like again. Okay, so and our car was stopped at the outer lane. So the first out at the middle of the outer lane and the middle lane, and so middle and the outer lane. Okay, so I think that is really really uh, a severe car accident. Glad that me and my and Venerable Rugong didn't get injured. Right, so I think that is a kind of blessing, and I think that we are very fortunate that we have protection uh, from the Dharma. Okay, okay. So So that happens, and of course our car got totaled, and it was completely ruined. You can't drive anymore. You can't fix it. So we got a new car. That is something good of bad things, right? I get a new car. Okay, so that is the car that I'm driving right now. Okay, so after this incident, right, after the car accident, right, whenever I drive, of course, there's I still get nothing. I don't get feared on on getting on the road. That's fine because I have I still have precautious about that. Right? So we call it defensive driving, right? Okay, so. But I realized that after the accident, right, whenever I trying to merge, at the fork, right, whether it is from from a highway to another highway, or I'm going down, right, not going down, but kind of like merging at the fork of two highways, right? Okay, you're going to from like highway 270 to highway 64 or 40, right? Then you have to merge, right? Right. So whenever there was a car at the other lane, other fork, or merging, right? There was a feeling. Okay, it's kind of like a startle feeling. It is very fast, but it doesn't it doesn't it's just like okay. So that I had a feeling of that car hitting me. Like oh, okay. So I know that is illusion. So I still get a very very precautious you know self-defensive driving attitude, right? And I had no way for me, it is no way for me to slow myself down, right? Because of that illusory feeling. But it happened. Okay. So maybe it is, trauma, as we talked. But does this trauma affects me? Yes or no, right? I didn't stop driving. I didn't stop driving because of that feeling, right? And but I take full awareness of what's happening, right? When I'm, when there's a wheel, how do you call this? Wheel wheel on your hand, right? Okay, so not the wheel, okay, but the wheel, right? Okay, railroad. No, I forgot the term. Okay, so that is the bad side of when you are not in the English environment. Okay, you forgot the term because you don't use it. Okay, all right, so it doesn't stop me, but it really has that. I really has that feeling, and I realize it, and I know that might come from the incident. Right? So what does this tells me, or what does this shows me? Is it's like sometimes, right, an incident of our life was so great or so immensely, kind of like that you can't forget. Right? You think that you forget, right? But sometimes that kind of feeling of that, I don't know, whatever it is, right, will come back. Right? It will come back. It will eventually come back. Okay? So this is you. Okay? This is what we have experienced. Right? We cannot just get away from, get rid of it. Okay? But what a Buddhist do to that kind of feeling, whether it is bad, you think it is bad or it is good, okay? Actually, we believe that it is all illusory. Why? It happened like 2016 years ago, right? But now it's since 2000. It happened in 2016, but after how many years? 6 years. That is an illusion. That is just a feeling of your past experience, right? Some maybe a chip of your memory. And do you want these chips of memory? How do you manage that chips of memory? Okay, so when we are talking about Buddhism, right? Buddha said, living in the present moment, right? That chips of memories. What are you going to deal with it? Okay, so this is part of your life. Okay, and but we still have a smarter chance or choice to deal with it. Okay, so I think this is called Anatman. If we know that, we realize this most of the time, right, we are living in our past. Okay. And it is true. Why? Because when we are perceiving things, right, actually, it goes to, when, for example, when I see things, right, it goes to our vision, right, eyeballs, and then goes to our nerves, then it translated into an electronic things, then goes to your brain, a part of your brain processing it, then you realize it, you act about it, right? But this is only takes maybe fewer than a second, and we are too used to it. We don't realize that actually when we see things and what we perceive, what we are seeing, it has been already in the past. Okay, because you take time, right? Whether it takes like maybe 1/32 or 1/100 seconds, right? It is still not. You are still not at that right moment, right? It is always in the past. Okay, so when we're talking about present, actually, if we meditate a lot, and we can kind of like perceiving what we feel, right? Because there are a lot of thoughts, right, during meditating, right? Believe me, yeah, right? Okay, so that is already past. Okay, so you are, and then so is that something we call, then that is something that we call illusory, because it never be the present, it never show the present state of yourself. Right. So this is a very, very profound realization that I can tell right now, but how do you realize it? I think that by meditating, try to observing yourself, and also by contemplating on what's going on in your thoughts and also your emotions. Okay. Then I think that we can get the conclusion on the Anatman, the illusionary of a self. Okay, so this is a very, very important thing, because if we have that Anatman in mind, then we have a better choice. We have a better chance to make a better choice. Okay? Because we are not acting upon our emotions. We're not acting upon, some instinct, something that is already here inside, okay, deep in our bones. Okay? Then we can break some, some of the maybe ideologies, or I don't know how to call that. Something that is already being fixed in our mind. Okay, so I think that we have a better chance to break that. And when we are talking about thinking outside of the box, right? Then I think Anatman is a way of thinking outside of the box, because that box was being built from your small age, right? Since you are young until what you are right now. Right? So we were kind of like already building up boundaries, right? No matter what it is, right? what political stance that you are, or do you believe in do you believe in climate change or something, right? Okay, or do you believe in science, right? And are you pro-life, or are you pro-choice, right? Okay, so that is the box, right? And why do we have that? Because there are, you can trace it, because maybe you were being taught to, or you get a conclusion on that. You have done a lot of research on that, so you get a conclusion. So that is the box. That is something that we call the box, right? So think outside of the box actually is a realization of Anatman, because when perception, what you perceive is something that that is just partial, because we'll have a limitation of our physical body, right? Okay. So that's just a partial, and that is just a latter part of it, or maybe you have bias on what you perceive. Then you have to break it, right? You have to break it. Okay, so I think that is the hope for for us, for the people who think that their thought is getting into a dead end, their life is getting to a dead end. And at Naman is really, I think this is a cure for it. Okay, so but for me, for a Buddhist, we know that by realizing Anatman, we can be more objective, not subjective, and we can be more smart, have smarter choice to deal with the situation, some situation that we have. Okay, so that is something that this Anatman, right? And another important thing is called suchness. Suchness means that actually means the seeing things as they really are. Okay, so suchness is a very, very important teachings in Prajnaparamita Sutra, because suchness, right? When we're talking of suchness or thusness, right? Actually, it means the way the thing really are, or the things really are. So that reflects also on us. How do we see a person that we love, or how do we see the person that we hate? Do we have bias on them? do we really see the whole picture of that person, right? The whole persona, or there are bad and good side of a person, right? Okay, so maybe we have just emphasized a part of that person, and that make us to love him or love that person, him or her, right? Okay, or to hate that person. Okay, so to see things what we are is also a good lessons for us, okay? Because that tells us there should not be any bias, right? We should see things really are without any further interpretation. Right? So that is called suchness, right? So when we are reading it on the Prajna Paramita Sutra, maybe it confuses us. Like when we are reading Heart Sutra or Diamond Sutra, you really don't know what it means. But if we take into, if we look closer to the core teachings of Prajna Paramita Sutra on sunyata, emptiness, based on the impermanence, Anatman, non-self, based on the impermanence of our perceptions. Okay, so it's also the impermanence, right? Okay. And also suchness, looking at things what they are, right? Okay. That is very important. Okay, because maybe there are too much explanation or too much renditions on it, right? Okay, I call it rendition, like ha ha, right? Okay, renditions. Okay, so you have your rendition on a play, right? Okay, okay. So I think these three things can help us to be smarter, to be more objective, and that can free us from from bias. Okay, and I think this is the core teachings of the Buddha, and I believe that Anatman and also the contemplation of impermanence, okay, is done by meditation. Okay, but this meditation is not just or we call it mindfulness. Okay, so not just seated, but be mindful on things around you. Be mindful on how you observe, how you perceive things. Be mindful on how you process your perceptions. Okay? Be mindful on what your emotions can affect you. I think that is something that we can learn. And there is some last things that I would like to share with you when I was meditating just a while ago, because I was burning incense with, with us, kind of like we call it slow cooker things. Okay, slow cooker incense burner. Okay, so you put the incense stick, so it's like the wood. Okay, the wood is itself, so it is not a processed things like you put powders and you put some glues in and glues it into a stick, but it is really a wooden stick. Okay, the most original wood. Okay, the incense there, and it heat up so that the scent of the wood will go out, right? So when I was meditating just a while ago, I smelled the scents of the incense. And after that, okay, the first smell, okay, when I first realized that incense, and also I realized that there is an emotion of greed. Like, I want it, oh, that was so that was so good, right? That smells so good. Okay, I want it more, right? That kind of emotions arises. Okay, and I think that is greed, a kind of like, we call it greed. Okay, so I think that this is a very, very how do you say that, subtle, right? Subtle. Okay, subtle. S-U-T, subtle, T-L-E, right? Subtle. Okay, so that means very, very tiny, right? Okay. And very, very, kind of like sophisticated, right? Okay. So subtle. Subtle things that you might not realize when you are, in your daily life. But when we're meditating, we realize that. And by training, by practicing these, and I think that we can find how it goes up, how an emotion of something goes up, okay, how emotions goes up, and how we spot it, right? And that is the starting point of our practice, right? And we are able to manage it because we get a clue on how it goes up, right? Okay, so uh, so this is something that I would like to share with you. Okay, so thank you very much, and I think that I have very I cannot tell how appreciate I uh, I have toward you, my dear audience. So I would like to share. I would like to say thank you to. Maybe I don't know, but the names that I know, okay, Minjun, Carla, Dennis, Jeff, Sashi, Danny, right? Oh, Dan, okay. So thank you very much. And I would like to say hi to Stanley, or Stan, right? Carla's husband. Okay, so thank you very much, and I wish the best of you. Okay, so and happy day. Okay, so let us stand up, and we are going to take bows to the Buddha to appreciate all the good causes and conditions that we have to make the streaming possible. Okay, so let us thank everyone and everything. So okay, so thank you very much. Okay, so there's okay, so Carla. Okay, say hi to Stan and Briley. Okay, so bye. Oh, say hi. Yes, say hi. Okay, so bye.